Ready to start, Jason?
We're ready to start. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Monday Live with me and that one camera guy, aka Danny. I swap that around. It's Danny, aka that one camera guy. Oh man. So yeah, tonight's show is all about NAB 2017. Well, not really all about NAB 2017, but there's a lot of NAB 2017 hype going on, and we're gonna touch up on that in just a little bit. But hey, you know what we love doing at the start of the show? New gear announcements. So let us know what new piece of gear you guys got this week. Queuing up right now in the comments below. I mean, the chat to the I'm getting this all mixed up. The chat to the side. Danny, what new piece of gear do you want to talk about today?
As far as new piece of gear, I did a video review on it. It's the Sony Alpha 6500 grip from Makey. I haven't really had a chance to test it out. I will be this week using it, but in terms of just initial use of the actual grip and just kind of handling it, it actually feels really good, very solid, much better than the previous one for the Alpha 6300. And then if you didn't see that video yet, I did point out that it does work on the Alpha 6300 and the A6000. So if you're not worried about a little bit of a weird gap issue on the grip, I think if you do plan on upgrading later, I think you might want to consider grabbing that if you need it. Obviously, not everybody needs one of those grips, but I do, and I do appreciate having that.
Awesome. Manny's in the house. Everyone's going wild in the chat right now. Manny's in the house. Manny says, "I would love to do one of these shows with you guys, and we would love for you to come on. We want to do guest shows, don't we, Danny?"
Yeah, we do want to do that, unless he wants to jump in right now.
Come on in, Manny. A lot of people want to see that. Yeah, we definitely want to have some guests in, so we're gonna work towards that. Manny's definitely one of the people we want to get. We were just worried that maybe Manny was too cool for us to come in. That's why. All right, so in terms of new piece of gear, I actually did not get any, but I did get to play with the new Godox 8200. So if you guys don't remember what that is, it's like a pocket-sized flash that is capable of high-speed sync and TTL. I got to play with this courtesy of one of my subscribers and my friend Rodell. Let me see if I can pull up a teaser image. Let me see. How do I do this again? Boom.
Press Alt F4.
Alt F4. Okay. No. All right. So this is like a little teaser image that we got going on right here. I will have a video regarding this maybe this week. I don't know. Can you guys see that? It says here, present to everyone.
I can see. Well, I can see technically what you're showing. So hopefully they can too.
So this is it right here. And how do I show another one? And here's a BTS shot of us shooting over the weekend. So yeah, this is not a review. This is just my first impression on it. I really, really love the size and the weight of this. It's definitely a lot lighter than a 600, a lot more portable. But in my opinion, actually during the shoot, I ended up using the 600 a lot more for the most part because I'm just much more familiar with it and it's much more powerful. But in my opinion, I think the 8200 can still be a great standalone strobe, or it could be a great complement to the 8600 as like a hair light or a backlight. So I'll definitely have more thoughts about this light in the future. So stay tuned. If it's not going to be this weekend where I release my 100 STF video, it would be hopefully soon within the next 2 weeks. So yeah, good stuff.
Awesome. I am also interested in that. Definitely going to check out that video from Jason Vong when that's out. I do have some other gear coming in, but I don't have it yet. Let me go ahead and share. So I don't know. I just recently joined Sony Pro Support. I don't know if you guys have joined Sony Pro Support yet, but I did cough up the $100 that they asked for. And in one day, they responded back and said I was in the program as soon as I paid them with my credit card. Yeah, they got it all squared away. And then I contacted them about loaning some equipment. So I asked him if I can borrow the 2470 G Master as well as the 85 G Master, which will mean I will have all three 85s.
You're gonna be ahead of the game now.
So we shall see how that goes.
Thank you. Awesome. So just really quickly, we got another super chat donation that just came in, and it's actually from Not Cranium. Holy crap! Keep up the good gear reviews, guys. I appreciate it. I'm sorry for being so rude earlier. I was just joking.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Not Cranium. Appreciate it.
I got $2 because I insulted Not Cranium. I'm just kidding. Not Cranium says, I was just joking, guys. I subscribed after watching the video on Casey Neistat's gear and then watched some of your other videos. I don't know much about camera, but I am camera curious. So yeah, Not Cranium, awesome for sure, man. Subscribe to Danny as well and let us know in any of our videos if you need any help as to, you know, what camera to get, what are the lens and accessories and all that good stuff. So also check out some of our reviews on the gear as well. I think I put out the 6500 and the A7R too, and if you're interested in like learning about sports photography, Danny would be the person to go to as well.
Hopefully.
Awesome. Let's see. Where am I? So let's go ahead and jump into the chat and see what you guys got in terms of new gear. Mike Smith says he got the new Sigma 135-1.8. That is a hot. Woo! That I see a lot of my photography friends on my Facebook been picking up. Awesome. How have you been liking it so far? Do you have the 135, Danny? Did you buy it?
Nope. It's tough. People think I have unlimited money, but I just don't. I have to really think hard about that.
You are that one camera guy.
That's true. That's true. I want it though, but
Ion says 2 128GB UHS-2 cards and a Peak Design Capture Pro. Awesome.
Nice.
Alan
UHS-2.
Oh, sorry.
Wait,
go ahead.
UHS-2.
UHS-2.
Is that's okay. All right. Just moving on. I'm just
Alan Andrews, new gear, new Mavic blades. Don't try flying your drone indoors. That is an obvious thing. I'm just kidding. I've seen so many people fly their drones indoors. Let's see here. Okay, K-Dot, new gear, Sony 28F2 and RX104. Love them both. Awesome. I'm curious, why did you choose to go with the RX104 instead of the 5? I was actually doing a little research myself too. I was debating whether or not I should get this RX104 or the 5. It turns out the RX105 has the face detection, whereas the RX104 was still using contrast detection. So the RX105 is actually faster in autofocus.
That explains everything.
You were using the RX104, right?
I have the RX100 Mark IV, and the autofocus is really bad for video at times. And I'm guessing that was the reason why.
Yeah, I was actually pretty close to picking up the RX104 until I found out that it was contrast detection, not phase detection. But yeah, I'm not getting the RX105. I'm probably going to pick an RX100 series up when the 6 comes out.
That's what I was thinking. I'm pretty sure that one's going to come out probably this week.
I don't know.
But the truck's gone. I mean, yeah.
Let's see here. Wedding documentary photo. That flash is awesome. I have 2. Cool. I can't share some of your work as well. Wedding documentary photo in cinema. It's weird calling you that because that's not your name, but let us know. Let's see your work with the 8200. Manny Ortiz. What's up, y'all? Let me know in setting up my new office next week. I'll come on the show. Well, next week I'll be at NAB. So I don't know how stable of a connection I'll have next week. So
I'm sure you'll be all right.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that after the show, Danny, and we'll see. We can bring on a guest next week, if not the weekend.
Okay,
we'll see.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I see there's a lot of questions going on right now. We will have an open Q&A tour in about 30 minutes or so. So hang on tight. Definitely repost those questions when we get to the
Yeah,
open Q&A.
just add a question mark at the end, obviously. It'll help us if we need to search for a question later in the show. But yeah.
Awesome. Let's see. Contribution.
And don't forget, while Jason's looking around there, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up to help get some more visibility. And yeah, just throw a really quick thumbs up on the video. Again, we love and appreciate everyone that's on here on the stream tonight.
Cool. Awesome. Let's see. Everybody pretty much has questions right now. Yeah. Okay. I think we are done with new gear in the chat. Gun to the head, 100mm STF or the 85mm.
That's you, man. You've used both. Wait, yeah, you've used both. So that's a Jason Vaughn question.
85mm 1.8. He didn't ask for a reason. I'll just pick one. All right, cool. So let's just go ahead and jump on to the news right now. I'm the Brown. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening. Welcome. You just joined in at the right time because we're tackling some NAB 2017 news. A lot of NAB hype going on right now, but Sony is already off to a bad start. They got their gear stolen. Wow.
That was amazing.
While they were sending it over to Las Vegas, I don't even know what happened. But go ahead. Cue it up in the comments right now. Cue it up in the chat right now. Who do you think did it? Who do you think stole it? My money is on Danny. Stole the truck before the show because he wants to review the A9.
I just needed to know. I just needed to know. I was that eager too. So I'll let you guys know. I'll have a video about it tomorrow. The actual Sony A9. It's an amazing camera. Amazing camera.
You shot some sports with it, right? Because I know you took it because that's a sports camera with that fast.
What if Sony actually sent it to me? I never said anything to you. I had to keep it all low key this entire time.
So we're hoping that this is obviously not true, but it is confirmed that I guess someone was a partner of Sony or something confirmed that their gears are stolen. But we're hoping that's not true because we're waiting for this week because there's supposedly some upcoming announcements, either possibly a new camera, a new lens, and all that stuff. So we're hoping that would still go through. But we're just going to go ahead and jump into what we know and what we don't know. What's going to happen at NAB? What sort of announcement can we expect from Sony once they get their gear back and proceed on with the show? So here's what we know so far, according to Sony Alpha Rumors. So Sony will have a press conference on April 20th in London and April 23rd in Las Vegas. There is also one more announcement in June, but we don't know when and where that would be. So here's what we can be expecting in one of these three events. New Sony camcorders. I think a while ago, me and Danny talked about the 8K Handycam or something like that. So that's definitely up in the air. The FS5, the FF7, was it the FS5 2 or the FF7 2? I don't know.
As far as the camera?
As far as the new camcorder.
I mean, would you call it a camcorder at that point?
I don't know. I call that a bazooka, but maybe a new Sony high-end E-mount camera, the AKA A9. We're hoping that that's the one thing that gets announced this weekend, but hopefully because the truck got stolen, that it wouldn't be delayed in announcement. Maybe
it is. I've seen it already. Jason. It's back over here behind me. It is the A9.
I don't believe it. Show us the camera.
I can't right now. It's a NDA.
NDA. Maybe a new RX camera. I'm guessing it's one of the RX10 cameras, not the RX100 cameras that will be announced. We'll see. And maybe the new 16-35 G Master f2.8 lens or the 100-400 FEG lens. So definitely, I think a G Master lens will definitely get announced, and it has to be the 16-35.
Yeah, the 1635 is going to be nice if that is going to drop. A 100-400 FE. Jeez, I have too many zoom lenses already. I just don't want to get another one.
I probably won't be picking up the 16-35. I have my trusty tiny Batis 18 mil, great lens. Love it a lot.
All right.
So here's what we know, or here's what is being speculated. The rumors about the new high-end E-mount A9 camera. Lower resolution sensor, could be around 20 megapixels, but unconfirmed. It will have the fastest autofocusing system out of all the other Sony E-mount cameras.
Obviously, right? It has to be.
Obviously. It records around 20 FPS, records 4K, probably at 60 FPS to compete with the GH5, but that remains to be seen. A tiny bit larger than the A7 series camera, but pretty much the same size. It's not going to have an integrated battery grip like the 1D series. Dual SD card support. I think a lot of people have been asking that for a long time, but again, it's remains to be seen. Unlimited RAW recording if the right cards are put in. Uses the new 6500 menu system, has a touchscreen and also a joystick on the back, which is greatly appreciated. Better battery life, which I'm not going to hold my breath for unless you have to buy new types of battery for it. But if it's still using those same old tiny Sony batteries, I don't think battery life would improve all that much, but we'll see. Price is high, probably around 4K to 5K. But they're saying that this new camera won't be replacing the A7 series. So all remains to be seen.
Yeah, let's ask the crowd here. Would you buy this A9 if it had all these these features for $4,000 to $5,000? Would you get it?
Would you get it?
Would
Let
you
us
sell
know.
would you sell your organs? What would you do? Would you get this camera?
I'm gonna be honest, man. If this camera drops everything that I need it to be, I might have to sell my A7R2 and maybe a G Master just to get it.
Yeah. For me, if this does drop around $4,000 to $5,000, I think I'm either gonna sell my 5D Mark IV or my Canon 1DC. It's one of them's got to go. So, yeah, I've got a 7D Mark II. I might let that one go as well. So, so we'll see.
So we're jumping.
Yeah,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, those of you in the comments, what would you do? Would you get it for $4,000 or $5,000? I don't know if anybody's like a high roller out there that can get it, but yeah, let me know. I'm just curious to hear.
Let us know who's ready to hit that pre-order link when it comes out. DJ CJ, just wanted to say that I follow both of you guys. Your content and your knowledge on the Sony camera is great. Keep up the good work. Any thoughts on what we can expect from Sony in the coming months? That's exactly what we will be expecting this weekend, actually. Let's see. Someone mentioned about smooth round balls, so I gotta look at it.
That needs to be on a shirt, Jason. That's
smooth round balls. Get it from the 100 STF. Michael Pierce. I got the 100mm STF a week ago. Awesome. New piece of gear right there. Let's see. Tim West got the 30mm 1.4 Sigma and loving it. Keith Alexander Bailey just dropped in and said, hello, Keith. Let's see here. Marcus Cooper says, putting off my new gear until after NAB, which is a pretty smart decision. DJ CJ speculated Kim Jong-un is responsible for the missing Sony truck. That is a wild speculation, but
oh man,
they need that low light sensor.
There you go.
Alan Andrews, Panasonic stole it because they can sell more GH5.
Ouch. Oh man, they need the tech. They need the tech.
Keith is speculating someone is out for Sony for not applying A-mount users with new and better lenses for the A-mount. A-mount is not getting enough love.
What do you think about that? I mean, I don't use A-mount, but I really think it's neglected. I mean, really, that's the vibe I get. But
there's an interview recently that they were saying, no, of course not. We still love A-mount. We got new lenses coming out for A-mount. A-mount is not dead.
Yeah, are any of you guys out there A-mount shooters? I know we just focused on E-mount stuff, but I have considered actually thinking about renting A-mount gear like the A99 Mark II. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's not my priority right now. But yeah, if you're an A-mount user, how do you feel about this? Do you feel there's no love for A-mount?
I only have one friend that shoots A-mount. I only know one person. Brian, if you're on the chat, hello, Mr. A-mount user.
I don't know anybody really that shoots with A-mount.
Tim West, Nikon took it. Nikon is mad. All right. Arnold says, I predict a 16 to 35 G Master 2.8 lens, but no one will care because they want a new body. No, of course not. People do care. People would care about the 16 to 35 G Master because that's the missing lens from the Trinity.
It is the Zoom Trinity. Yeah.
Zoom Trinity. Awesome. Everybody pretty much is agreeing that 16 to 35 is definitely in the horizon. Arnold is saying 16 to 35 2.8 for a low price of $399.99. Let's hope not. If Marcus Cooper says if the 16 to 35 is $999, I am sold. I hate to break the news for you, but we can expect to pay $2,000 for the 16 to 35.
Whatever the 24/7 he's going for, I think it'd probably be around that ballpark. So
that same price. Let's see. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Oh, buy it.
Maybe it's Obaid.
Obaid. Are you reading from SAR, Jason? You got me.
Very, very observant person.
Very observant. Let's see here. My job.
A lot of nopes about the A9 at $4,000, $4 to $5,000.
A lot of nopes. Jeffrey Wang, sup, Jason? Almost got arrested today.
Whoa!
The cops are on me, and it wouldn't be the first time this week.
So it was Jason that took the camera.
Yeah, I took the camera. K Dot says there will be no G Master under 1,500. Not unless you look into the user market. Awesome. Cool. Let's move on to the next piece of news. So over the week, it was a very proud moment for a lot of us Sony users out there. Sony is now number 2 in the full frame camera market, beating out Nikon for that second place spot. Let us know. Let us know how do you feel about that. Any former Nikon users out in the chat right now? What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's actually an interesting one. I would always expect that a lot more Canon users migrated over to Nikon. But is there more people coming? Is there people from Nikon going to Sony? I guess. Sorry, Canon to Sony and Nikon to Sony. Which one's actually doing it? I guess for those people that are out there that are in Sony right now, did you jump from Canon or from Nikon or some other brand? I just want to mention that there is a lot of debate about the actual data that they got to prove that Sony was taking the market, their second place in the full frame market, that they only took the data from January and February. But hey, you know what? For those 2 months, Sony's doing pretty good. So we're gonna take that.
No,
we'll take that W for now.
2 months is still good enough. Good enough results. But yeah, personally, I think it's because of the A7S II and the A7R2. I mean, like a lot of people are jumping ship because of the A7S II for their low light capability and the A7R2 for like stills and autofocus video. So I'm guessing it's these 2 cameras that really push Sony up in the market.
Oh, I mean, it can even be the A7 II. It was a really good entry level point camera. I mean, yeah. All those three trifectas, those 3 cameras offered a lot of potential. I mean, in-body image stabilization on a full-frame camera. Nikon and Canon doesn't even have that. And then you got 4K and the A7S II and A7R2. I mean, it was just some really good tech in those cameras. So
awesome. Let's jump back into the chat really quick. I'm fumbling here. Let's see here. We got some. Yeah,
we're getting some feedback here.
Yeah, let's see. Keith says, A-mount forever. The A-mount crew. And again, I see a lot of questions coming in. We're going to do an open Q&A very shortly. Hang on to those questions and repost them in just a bit. And for those of you guys who are watching, we're up at 60 viewers right now. That is fantastic. Woo! Give us a like if you guys can. If you haven't touched that like button, punch us a like right now.
Yeah, let's try to get to 100 likes on this video. That'd be pretty awesome.
That'd be pretty awesome. We were 60 2 weeks ago, so we want to bump that up. Let's get that closer to 100 likes. James Deek, I used to shoot Nikon. Rob Kramer still use Nikon for sports. LJ says, did Sony just take over Nikon from market? Sony is number 2 in the US right now. Yes, they are.
Full frame only.
Full frame.
Yes.
But do you think they will take over crop crop sensor cameras with their 6500 and 6000?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I take that back.
Actually, right.
I think it'll take time. I don't think it's going to happen overnight. That one's going to be a while. That's just my opinion. The Rebel series stuff is. Are you talking about taking over Canon, right? Or did you say Nikon?
I don't know. I don't know, but I'm sure.
Canon's got that Rebel market, man. That is their thing. That is their.
I just came out, right?
The 77 or the.
No, T7i. The T7i came out, I think. Yeah.
And there was a 77D as well. So
I can't even keep up with how many different models number they have. Adrian Outlaw says Canon to Sony.
Okay, Canon to Sony.
Arnold says they should count Nikon bodies in it because they have all the Sony sensors. That's why Sony is number 2. Nikon is buying Sony cameras and ripping their full frame sensors and putting it onto their cameras. That makes total sense. Just kidding. Alan Andrews, still Nikon / Sony for now. Love the Nikon glass, awaiting for a decent adapter. K. I used to use the Nikon D750. I love it for stills, but the video features are horrible.
Woo.
You know what? That's a good transition point right now. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. Danny, you got a piece of news regarding the Nikon camera. Please enlighten us.
Speaking of Nikon, I wanted to throw this topic into the mix, even though we're Sony related, but I wanted to mention it because I've actually had the Nikon D7100 for a short while, and I've used it. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard about the Nikon D7500 that was just recently announced. I don't think it's in the hands yet of people, but it has 8 frames per second. It can shoot up to 50 raw images, 20 megapixels. It does 4K, but here's the thing. It does it at 2.2 crop. Right, that's even worse than the Micro Four Thirds system. But here's the thing that really got people, that really kind of frustrated them, was that it went to 1 SD card slot. Now, the previous Nikon cameras had 2 SD card slots for the Nikon D7100, 7200, and so forth. But for whatever reason, Nikon decided to cut back on it a little bit and take away the second card slot. So I guess what I'm asking is, what do you guys think about this camera? I guess it might not matter a whole lot. And I wanted to transition to this question here because I got a lot of flack for it, and I'm seeing a lot of commentating on this, is that it only has 1 SD card slot now. And I wanted to know from you, does having only 1 SD card slot make the camera not professional anymore? Is only having 1 SD card slot make the camera not professional anymore? And the reason why I mentioned this is because Sony's cameras so far with E-mount only have 1 card slot. And are any of you professionals out there using this camera and using it? That's what I'd like to know. So, Jason, what do you think? Does only having 1 card slot make it not professional?
I don't know. I mean, like, that's... I can understand why the mentality of, you know, a lot of pros are saying, oh, you know, why does this camera not have more than 1 SD card? You know, the cameras I've been using have 2 SD card slots or 2 XQD cards or whatever. But, you know, I mean, like, I kind of, when I started off, I've been so used to having just 1 SD card slot on my camera that I kind of just got used to it. So when I moved on to like the Panasonic GH4 or the Sony now, I mean, like, it doesn't really bug me all that much. And, you know, there are people out there who are making great content, shooting a movie, shooting YouTube videos, shooting a whole bunch of commercials with just these cameras using 1 SD card slot. So to say that when a camera doesn't have more than not having 2 SD card slots, not professional, I don't know. I don't think that's fair. I mean, like, it doesn't matter what the camera doesn't have, as long as the person who's using it know what they're doing with it and creating something out of it and making money out of it. I think that's what considers it to be a professional camera.
Yeah, I think the thing that I see, it's not really the camera itself, it's the tool that you're using. You as the person is the actual professional that takes the gear and make it work for you and what you want to do with it. But I do understand the need that people want to have dual SD card slots or just dual card slots in general because they're worried about backing it up. I agree. if you're a Sony shooter, couldn't we just? I don't do this often enough, Jason. But couldn't you use the Atomos Ninja or the Ninja Flame to do another recording on top of the card? The recording in the camera.
Yes.
Is that possible?
That's definitely possible. So you can record both on the card and onto your Atomos. So it'll be 10-bit on the Atomos and 8-bit on the card.
So if you really needed it, if you really needed it, there's ways to do that for video. Now for stills, it's a different story. But historically, for me personally, for example, with my Canon cameras, like my 5D Mark III, Mark IV, I will typically shoot to both cards because I have the option. I'll usually do RAW on one and JPEG on the other, or just both RAW. But that's just because I have that option. So, but yeah, with the Sony cameras, I've never had a real big deal or issue. But I'm not shooting weddings like every weekend, so I don't know. I feel that there's a group of people out there that need that every single time, and they're worried about it, and I can understand. But I think I've been fine with one slot cards for the longest.
So this is probably just me, but how I usually try to combat this is, like, let's say at a wedding, after prep, I would switch out to another SD card for the ceremony, and then after the ceremony, switch out to a different card, just so I don't keep shooting all the stuff into one card. And you know, what's that phrase? Don't have too many eggs.
Put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah. So even I have 64GB memory cards, but even if I don't fill them all up, I would just swap out to another card, because at least if one card dies or I lose a card, I don't lose completely everything. So that's just sort of like a cheap workaround. It's not exactly the best, but I'm curious, how do you guys do it? How do you guys work around this, if you guys do work around with just one SD cards? And we'll go ahead and jump into the comments, or the chat. I keep calling it the comments. I don't know why.
Because they are technically comments.
They are. Trent says, not switching, rather entering the market. What is the best system to build into? I guess this is in regards to A mount and E mount. Built into the E mount. Go E mount. Let's see here. What is
the only thing I would add? The only thing I would add for Trent is just if you are going Sony, it is going to cost money. So just keep that in mind.
Okay.
Sony E mount is kind of pricey right now. So yeah.
Let's see here. Streets of Vancouver. Did you say 2.2 crap or 2.2 crop? Danny,
it is It is 2.2. Oh, did I say crap or crop? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah. Did you say crap or crop?
I'm not hitting on Nikon.
Throwing that shade. Keith. Wow. D7500, no dual SD card slot is backwards move on Nikon's part. Interesting. Wait, is the D7500 a full frame? I'm sorry, did you
No, it's APS-C.
APS-C, okay.
Yeah.
Have there been an APS-C camera with dual SD card slots though?
Yeah, the D70-100, the D70-200. Gotcha. Canon has not had dual slots only on their full frames. Oh no, I take that back. The 7D Mark II has dual slots.
The 7D Mark II. Oh, okay. Cool.
2. Yeah, the 7D Mark II.
Let's see here. Rob Kramer, they have the D550 and D5 for pros.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Torger Thorkitson says the photographer makes it professional, not the camera. Awesome.
Yeah. That's what I would agree on that one exactly.
Let's see here. Rob Kramer, never had an SD card failure. 77 TikTok, welcome back. Cameras aren't professional. People are. Makes no difference. Agree with Torger. Cool. Arnold, the 2.2 crop makes it not professional.
It makes it really hard to work with, though. I mean, with the 2.2 crop.
Yeah. What Canon has the 1.6 crop on the 5D Mark IV?
Yeah. The 5D Mark IV, it comes out to like 1.7 crop.
Ooh.
So, but throw on an APS-C lens on there, and you can still work with it a bit.
Yeah. Didn't you say you were pretty happy that you were able to use your 18 to 35 on your 5D Mark IV?
Yeah. Yep. I'm very happy with that. Yeah.
Rob Kramer, 2.2 is the same as Sony in 120p mode, 120 frames per second. Yeah.
Are you talking about the A7S II on that one, Rob?
I think regardless of whichever camera, the 120 frames per second is a pretty tight crop.
Not with the Alpha 6500. I've never noticed it to be a tight crop.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't become a 2x crop for you.
Man, I got to look into that because I haven't noticed that at all.
Yeah, I noticed for A7S2, it just goes right in. I mean, like we try to combat that by putting on a wider lens on the A7S2 for slow motion, but I don't know, it didn't really work.
I think it is A7S2. The A7S2 does have that crop into the 120, but not the Alpha 6500. It isn't that bad. So
Streets of Vancouver. I haven't had a card failed in the past 15 years. Knock on wood.
Well, today's your lucky day. I'm just kidding. Just keep on trucking with that. That's good though.
That's good. That's good though.
It is good.
I've only had my micro SD card on my LG V10 phone back when I had it failed on me. That's the only SD card that failed on me within the last 5 years. So Marcus Cooper, where did this paranoia of cards failing come from? Trust me.
Tony and Chosey, Tony Northrup.
Sebastian, Atomos and Sony face autofocus not working. I think I know what you're talking about. Yes, once you connect your Atomos to your camera, the face tracking stops working in 4K. In 4K, it stops working. In 1080, it works just fine. But in 4K, that's the only thing that infuriated me. If you guys remember, I talked about in one of my videos that it kept missing focus on me. It was because of that reason. It's very infuriating.
That sucks though, but that's some key information to know.
Yeah. Let's see. 77 TikTok cards invariably do and will fail. It's sheer statistics. If doing top of the line work where things are important, do what you must. Awesome.
That's good advice. I'm not against it at all either. I mean, if you are worried about something failing, I would go dual if you could.
Rob Kramer clarified something for us. Yes, A7S2 is 2.2 and A6300 is 1.7 for 120p. Good to know.
That's right. That's right. I knew that.
Danny. Dang right. All right. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see here. What's going on? Okay, cool. I think we're pretty much gone through that. So, folks, again, you got questions, hang on to them tight. We're almost done with the news here, and we're going to get to it in about 5 minutes. Thank you for watching. We have 60 people watching now. Hit that like button for us. We want to get to 100. Much appreciated. All right, where are we? Where are we on the news?
Neistat.
Oh, there we go. Speaking of
the
speaking of what was the thing you want to bring up? Speaking of what?
Shoot, the transition. Speaking of one SD card, the Panasonic GH5 has 2 SD cards.
That's right.
Jason Vaughn?
Do you know who's using the GH5 now? Casey Neistat.
Jason Vong's good friend, Casey Neistat, is now shooting his vlogs with the G.
So Casey Neistat, okay, so I don't know. We just like talking about Casey Neistat. Casey Neistat is now vlogging with the new GH5. It's his new run and gun vlogging setup. And I'm speculating it's just because he's choosing this is because it's one, it's a new camera, 2, it shoots 4K, and 3, it's because, and this is the major point I'm thinking, it's because it has a flip out screen. So the reason why I bring this up is not for clickbait purposes, because he still uses his Sony for his studio. But the question is, my question is to everybody and to Danny, with more and more YouTube content creators such as Casey Neistat, Sarah Dici, Danny, aka that one camera guy, Jason Vong, using Sony to vlog now, Craig Adams, would this make Sony reconsider their camera screen? Do you think the next A7R3, A7 III, A7S3 would have a flip out screen? Because a lot of content creators on YouTube, if you notice, they've been switching to Sony. They've been vlogging with Sony. So, you know, and they're also pushing these type of contents out too. I think Sony Alpha Universe, the blog, they've been publishing a bunch of Sarah Dici's content, how she's switching over from Canon to Sony and how she's vlogging with the Sony. So I'm thinking this might be getting Sony to reconsider. I wouldn't say renovating their screen, but more implementing a flip screen system. But Danny, what do you think?
I think it's, for me, I honestly think it'd be a good idea, a good move on their part to make the screen flip out if they can do it, or even flip up. all the way or something. Give the users something to work with, and the community themselves will handle that point. I think the next A6000 series, if it's going to be an A6000 series, maybe it'll be A7000 series, whatever it happens to be, they really should work in a fully articulating screen that flips all the way out. A lot of content creators are using it, and I don't know, maybe it could just be from our perspective. We think a lot of people are using it, but nobody's really using it. But we'll see. I mean, for me, I think it'll be great. I think it'll be good. Jason, what do you want?
I think at this point, I'm so used to it not being a flip out screen. I think once they actually introduce a flip out screen, I'd be pretty weirded out. But yeah, I mean, with so many content creator using the Sony system now, I think it might be in their best interest to put in a flip out screen, but we'll see. We'll see if they'll listen.
Oh, and I guess before we jump to that, one thing I wanted to point, I guess, was having that screen does make it a more appealing camera to a general audience, because now, like the RX100 Mark IV and 5, they have that screen that flips all the way out, right?
Yeah.
Flips all the way up. It just makes it more convenient for users to possibly use it for vlogging in the future. So make your camera more enticing, give them some of these features, and they'll help promote the product. Like you said, they're featuring some of these vloggers on their channels and stuff.
Yep.
And they're huge influencers to get more market into this arena. So
cool.
My 2 cents on that.
All righty. Okay, let's go ahead and jump back in. Keith Bailey says, "Thank you, Jason and Danny, but I have a flight to catch in the morning." Thanks for stopping by, Keith. You're awesome.
Have a safe trip, man.
Arnold, Jason, I hit the like. Where's my check gonna be in the mail? I don't know. Give me your address. I'll send you a Sony cloth or something. Evan, yeah, dude, the GH5 is a bleep choice for vlogging. Ouch. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Kai was using the GH4 for vlogging at some point, right? Or I think he still does.
Here's my perspective on it. I don't think you really need the autofocusing to vlog with it. It's not necessary. My perspective is, I mean, Kai knows how to use cameras, and we would know how to use cameras. We can make it work, right, Jason? If you had to vlog with it, I'm pretty sure you can make it work. Yeah, it's just that the majority of people wouldn't want to deal with that, because there's already cameras that do a good job of it.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, like you said, we can make do with it, but I obviously would want that reliability to focus on my face. Yeah, I think because I trust the 6500 and the A7R2, that I'm willing to just be forgiving that it doesn't have a flip out screen, because I can trust that it will autofocus to my face. I've never had an issue with it when I use it to vlog or do any sort of selfie style sort of picture or video. So it has been working really well for me. Oblix CMM says they should use the A99 style screen. What do you think, Danny?
Does that one come out all the way?
That one
it goes up.
Weird. Yeah, it just like bends down, twists, and goes up or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what the engineers can actually pull off, then I guess, right? If that's what they can do. Mm-hmm. The question is, if you mount stuff on the top of your camera, it's a problem. So I don't know. I think it's something. It's better than nothing, I would say. That's my.
I would say aesthetically, it's not that pleasing. I'm actually not a fan of that kind of screen from the A99 too. But since it could do that, I would if they have to do it, I wouldn't mind. But I'm just saying it's not that aesthetically pleasing. It's kind of weird. David Osler, welcome back, David. Hi guys. I so hope they have a flip out screen next.
We hope so. Well, now that I mean, it's back here, the A9, but I mean, I can't tell you whether or not it's going to have the flip out screen.
Please, Danny, we want to know. Tell us the camera you saw has it.
I was still going through the truck, and it's so much things in there.
You still need to find it. I got you.
Yeah, there's TVs and stuff that shouldn't even be in there, but I mean,
the new 8K Sony TV.
Just imagine it's like an 8K camera.
You're actually using it right now, using the A99 as your webcam.
I know, right? I'm using my. Imagine I'm using the A9 right now to record this.
Obey, touch and flip out screen. Sony, make believe. Let's see here. Streets of Vancouver, you can vlog just fine with any 6500 or 6300 if you're using the 10 to 18 f4 lens. It's so wide that it's impossible to be out of frame.
I agree. I'm using the 10 to 18 right now. Well, I'll just tell you the truth here. I'm using the 10 to 18 right now on this on the Alpha the Alpha 6500 right here. So it's a great. I really love the 10 to 18. That's my favorite lens. If anyone's going to ask me that, but cool. Right now it's my favorite lens.
JW Studios. If Sony made a flip out screen, I'd sell my 2-week owed 80D.
Awesome. Just do it now. JW, just do it now. I have the A9 right here. It's fully articulating screen.
All right, guys. So now we're gonna jump into the Q&A. So start letting us know. So if you posted questions before, just repost your questions again, and we're gonna get through them right now. In about a couple of minutes. I'll go through a few more comments, but get those questions ready. And please, if you haven't already yet, give us a like on this video. I'm sorry, I can't send out a check to each likes. You might have to sign up for one of those services where you get $5 for liking a page or something.
What are you promising them, Jason? What are you doing?
I'm not promising. I'm promising my time and my beautiful face. Thank you, Michael Pierce.
Whoa, Michael.
Thank you so much. You're awesome. I didn't even have to look at your username, and I know,
right?
Drop some cash. You have a
Michael. You're way too awesome, man.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for everybody who has donated through the super chat. We really appreciate it. Me and Danny are always talking about how awesome you guys are and always coming back to watch the show. We really appreciate it.
And I think we've mentioned before, it helps us get to know who you guys are, seeing the familiar faces. Obviously, don't change your user picture or we'll forget maybe, but yeah, it's really great. It's awesome.
Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome. Okay, let's go back into a few of the comments really quick before we head into the questions. So get those questions ready because we're going to tackle them in a couple of minutes.
Oh, yeah, just a really quick thing out there. I don't know if anybody's in the California area or not, but if me and Jason did a meetup, would you guys go?
Yeah, who's in California? Let us know.
Yeah, would you ever want to do a meetup?
Awesome. And be sure to leave a question mark in the chat so we can Control F find it. Awesome. So 77 TikTok says, that one camera guy, I finally nabbed my 10 to 18 this past week or two, and I'm so happy that I did.
Nice. It's a sweet lens.
Arshan says, hi, do you ever find a Sony buttons to be fatally and accidentally press something else by mistake? So I'm guessing he's asking, do you accidentally push a different button by mistake?
No, not really. It happens very rarely. The only thing is the scroll wheel. It's the back wheel dial, and I made a video on that. But that's the only thing.
I accidentally turned off my camera a few times because I was trying to adjust the shutter. the shutter dial and the on and off button were so close to each other that I accidentally smacked it across the off button. So that happened a few times back when I first started using the camera. Today, not so much. Let's see here. Arno, why don't YouTubers just use red cameras for vlogging? I mean, they're all swimming in pools of cash like Scrooge McDuck, like you and Danny, right? I wish I would vlog with anything you guys want if I had that money. But I think John Olsen vlogs with a red camera. And he's the only one that's doing it right now, I think. I could be wrong though, but let me know.
Man, would you want to switch over if you had access to a red camera and shoot your YouTube videos in 8K, Jason?
Oh, like MKBHD status. I've toyed with the idea of getting like an FF7 or something just to shoot my YouTube videos, but yeah, no, I realistically probably not, but we'll see. I mean, ideas and thoughts can change in the future.
I would just stick with the Sony cameras.
A7.
Obviously, because like the A9 that I have back here does 6K at 24. So I mean, I think it's okay. We'll just wait on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of tech YouTubers that actually use like a lot of fancy equipment. Like TLD today, he shoots with an FF7 or something, or FS5. So there are people out there who's using the fancier camera gear to shoot their YouTube video. Super overkill, but that's what they do.
They just got that. They just got that dough, man.
Let's see. Sean Tan says Casey is still using his RX 105, though. Yes, he is. And I think he recently figured out how to get better autofocusing system with that camera. Evan, don't get me wrong, the GH5 is a lovely camera, but Casey's most recent video was hard to watch because of the hunting, even when he was barely moving. Yeah, I kind of noticed that at some point, well, just at that one certain point of his video, I saw the focus went in and out on his face. So, yeah. Breaking Elegance, for the love of God, I need that flip out screen.
Oh, man.
LJ says, make Sony great again, overtake #1 in the marketing world.
I think it could happen. Let's say full frame wise. No, man. I take that back. I mean, if you've seen like sporting events, what cameras do people have at sporting events all the time? It's Canon.
Canon 70.
It's Canon.
70 Mark II. 1DX.
Canon. 1DX, 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 Mark II, and everything.
The last Olympic has like a full room full of Canon gear.
It's literally majority Canon, man. I think Sony's not Sony E-mount, which makes me sad because I do sports photography. I don't think sports is their angle, but I mean the A9, this unicorn is definitely going to intrigue me, but we'll see. Yeah.
Obeyed. Jason and Danny, what would you suggest about which lens I should buy between the STF 100mm or the 90mm macro? I'm looking for a macro lens mainly, but one to take portrait as well. I'd say save on the money and go with the 90mm. It does the job. It does great macro, and it does double the duties for portraits as well.
Yeah, I would agree on that. If you needed macro.
Yeah, 90mm.
Yep.
Let's see here. David Osler. I used the 6500 yesterday for a dance shoot, and it worked amazing capturing a dancer in midair, shooting with 24 1.8 and fast shutter. Awesome.
Nice. I wouldn't think anything less of that camera. It's freaking amazing.
Sean Felipe Tan. Sony Xperia XZ Premium. Is it good? Is that a phone?
Yeah, Xperia sounds like a phone.
Sounds like a phone.
I don't have it.
So. I'm sorry, Sean. We don't use Sony. I don't think a lot of people here use Sony phones in America, right? Yeah,
I think it's somewhere in Asia. It's more big.
Yeah, and I think in Japan and Asia, Sony is a little bit more big. But for America, we use mainly iPhones and Samsung. I think LG might be number 3. I don't know. But yeah, Sony is not that big here in the US. I hate how I just scrolled and just like scrolled way down. Oh, there you go. Nerve Media. Hey, tuning in from Hong Kong. So awesome to see you live, Jason. Well, thank you for stopping by.
I checked the time there. It's like 11 a.m. over there right now.
Oh, great. I would love to visit Hong Kong very soon. JW Studios. Do you think Canon will make a 90D or 80D Mark II? If so, when do you think they will be released? That's something that you may be able to answer, Danny.
They just released the 80D. I could have sworn in just late last year in 2016.
Mark II though. He wants a Mark II.
Oh, as far as a Mark II, that's kind of odd. They would probably go to a 90D.
Yeah. And
it'd probably be another 2, maybe 3 years at most. Let's say 2 years cycle. So it won't be 28. So not this year, but towards the end of 2018. But who knows? I would say maybe towards the end of 2018.
Do you think they'll have 4K by then?
I'm going to say yes. I think Canon will finally do it. But holy mac and cheese and meatballs, you just got dropped some dough.
Breaking Elegance, thank you so much. Meet up at VidCon. We got to make that happen. I found out, you know how much VidCon tickets are for content creators? $200. $200. I thought it'd be free.
We can just meet outside, maybe, of VidCon.
All right, Danny, we got to make it happen. We're going.
I'm down if people want to go. Dude, you said $200 for a ticket?
Yeah, $200 for tickets for content creators. I
Oh,
don't
the
know.
creators.
I don't understand the tiers of the pricing, but
Community creator industry. We're industry, right? Or we're a creator.
we're
We're
creators.
just paying for it. We don't even get our own booth or anything. We're just there. We'll just bring a table, we'll put it there and hope anyone stops by.
Yeah. We'll station ourselves outside of the convention so we don't have to pay to go in, but we'll still be there.
Breaking Elegance, are you in the area? I'm guessing. Is that why? I mean,
yeah, Breaking Elegance, where are you from, man? Let us know. Let us know the specific area. Maybe he's from Anaheim.
Yeah, maybe.
Streets of Vancouver. Question: what tech do you think is still missing from the DSLR mirrorless camera that would enhance the experience of taking digital images? That's a very good question.
What tech?
I'm blanking out right now.
I'm happy. Like A7R2 image quality wise, you get eye autofocus if you need that. You got really good dynamic range, unless you want more of it. That's a hard one.
Touchscreen for the A7R2 would definitely,
Well, there you go.
would definitely make my life easier. I'll have to sit and think on that. Sebastian,
Yeah.
what are you guys using for filming YouTube videos? I use the 6500 a lot lately. A6500. The past few videos you guys watched, the A6500 with the 55 millimeter lens, because it gives me that 85 equivalent focal length. So that's what that is right now. But yeah, A7R2 as well.
On my end, I don't know if you can see it, but I have a camera that's back there. Like I don't know if it's even visible or not, but it's hanging up. There's 6300. I use it to do my tabletop shots. The A9's back there on the bottom. The camera I'm using right now is the A6500. I typically just use the Alpha 6500 and the A6300. I don't really use the A7R2 to film like the YouTube stuff often. The smaller, the 6000 series camera, just easier for me to work with and get stuff done.
Awesome. 70 people watching. Holy cow. Thank you so much. If you haven't already yet, punch us a like. Give us a like. Thank you guys so much. Danny, you want to stick around for another 10 minutes?
If we get 1,000 likes, I'll take the A9 out right now. 1,000 likes.
Yeah, you have it, folks. Get us to 1,000 likes, and Danny will show off.
I'll have to do something really ridiculous because it'll never happen. But I mean, it could actually.
You're like, oh crap.
Like all of a sudden it starts going up. It's like, okay, what did I say?
Arno, Jason, and Danny, I need to know now: 85 Sigma Art or 85-1/8 on A7R2 for portraits. I think if you have, I don't know, man. That's a tough question. I mean, like, ooh.
I would say 85-1/8 is the better one because of its native performance. You're going to be happy every single time you're using it, but you're going to kill yourself because of the 1.4 on the Sigma Art. It's literally going to eat you up. Like, you're always going to miss what 1.4 will be like for you, especially if you do portraits a lot. That's the only problem you're going to have. That's my personal opinion.
I'd say if you can afford the 85 Sigma Art, I say go for it, because I think Francisco Hernandez, he's been shooting with the 85 a lot. Now he just transitioned to the 135, but it's been working out extremely well for him. So make sure you just update the MC11 adapter to work with the 85. I think, yeah, if you definitely have the budget for it, go with the 85.
Because I mean, the G Master is like another $600 US. I think it's like what, 1,200, and then G Master's like 1,700 or so.
Yeah, 1,800, I think. Pretty close. Yeah, 1,800, I think. Ugh. JW Studios. Yes, I'd go. I'm located in SD.
San Diego.
Awesome.
I'm actually heading down there on Thursday.
Hit him up. Hit up Danny. He's going to San Diego on Thursday.
I just don't think I'll have time, but yeah, I'll be in San Diego Thursday.
Tim West, do a meetup here in Canada. We would love to. I want to go to Canada.
Yeah. Well, and I'll hit up Zed Pro Media. If you guys know Zed Pro Media, he's in Canada. Maybe we can do a meetup there. Help us navigate Canada. That'd be pretty nice.
Alex Sandova, I'm there. I'm 1 hour north of LA. Cool. Evan, Zeiss 5518 or Sony FE 5018? 5518, man. That lens is so sharp. Too amazing. It's, dare I say,
Okay.
well worth the price. Well, I got
Evan,
mine
here's what
for
you do.
great market, so.
Don't look at any pictures taken with the Zeiss 55. Get the 51.8. Because once you start looking at the sharpness, if that's something that bothers you, then you're gonna want to get the Zeiss 55. So
It bothers me so much. Get the 55.
yeah, if that thing bothers you, just you're gonna want to get the Zeiss 55. It sucks. It's just the situation.
Let's see. Obaid, what would you suggest? Which lens I should buy? The 100 STF. Oh wait, we answered this already. 90 mil macro. Evan, also, how do you feel about the Sony 35-28? I personally haven't shot with it too much, aside from doing some tests with it at a camera store. But I do know there are some people who said the corner is not that sharp. But I've seen a lot of great work being shot with the 35-28. So, yeah.
Dang, it's a really expensive lens. Like retail?
35
for an f2. Yeah, it's 798. It's $800.
For double the price, you can get 35-14.
You could get the Sigma Art for like around that. If you were gonna, I'm just giving people options, right? But you could do the MC11 if you had it already in the Sigma 35 Art, but $800 for that one. Whew, that's a tough sell for me.
Yeah,
tough sell.
It's it is. But I think it's still cheaper than the 24 millimeter 1.8, the APS-C.
Yeah, that one's like, yeah, it's probably on the same price, like $900.
That's $1,000. If you can pick up the 35-28 used, that might be a little bit better. But I like it. It's tiny and compact. That's what's most attractive to me about that lens. DJ,
yeah, that is a good benefit. That is a good benefit. Yeah.
Yeah. DJ CJ Jason, Animals Ninja Flame or Assassin, and why? The Ninja Flame is much newer and better, so go with the Flame. The Assassin is a little bit outdated. I think the Assassin is like the screen is not as bright. And what else is there? I think the Assassin was promised the Atom HDR update, but I was reading a month ago that update never happened. So the Ninja Flame might be better. So go with the Ninja Flame. Arnold, A9 6K video confirmed.
Damn it.
Danny, you better start leaking those information out, man.
Oh shoot! I already have a video on it, guys. That's why I made the video about the specs. But everyone thought I was a liar. Somebody did email me telling me that it's gonna happen. So, not gonna say who.
Awesome. Okay, a lot of questions are coming in, so I'm gonna speed past some just really quickly. Tim West, I shoot yoga video for my wife weekly using the NEX VG20. Bought the 6000. Love it. Question about future proofing. Do you think it's time for me to sell the 6000 and switch to 6500 and go 4K? I personally, I think if you're shooting a yoga video on YouTube, you can get away with 1080 for maybe another couple years or more. So you should be fine with the 6000. But Danny, what do you want to say?
My opinion is if you have the money and you can do it, go right ahead. But Jason's right on there, because if you go to the 4K, you're going to have to start investing in the computer hardware and the hard drive space possibly to accommodate for it. So it's not just an investment in buying a $1,300, $1,400 camera. It's all about the computer, the storage, and everything else that goes with it. But if you're doing YouTube stuff, and I don't know what the platform is, if you're selling the DVDs maybe, or you're selling a product, then it might be a good thing to jump to 4K on that. So it depends on your finances, what you can afford right now.
Yeah. So Danny brought up a great point. Again, 4K is also very time consuming. I have to create proxy files of my 4K videos just to edit them. So if I edit 4K right off the camera, it's going to be so slow and painful. So that's something to consider. But if you got a good thing going on with the weekly yoga show with the 6000, I say just keep going with it.
Jason. The proxy files.
The proxies, man.
I don't even use proxies, man. I just straight up 4K right onto the laptop.
How do you even that timeline scrubbing is just awful.
No problem for me.
Richard Sumi Lang, what part of California from? I'm pretty close to LA.
And I'm in the Central Valley, let's just say Bakersfield area. I'm in the boonies.
Awesome. Let's see here. Rando, what specifically do you still pull your Canon out for? Danny, I think that's more directed towards you.
Here's the thing. I have a Sigma 120-300 lens that I used to shoot sports with. I have a Canon 1DC that I use pretty much like a 1DX because I got it for about $3,000. So I literally am using that and my 5D Mark IV out when I do sports photography because it's just something I've been so used to using. And then I slowly started injecting the Sony cameras. Like one day I'll say, you know what? I won't bring my Canon gear out. I'll just bring my Sony gear out. So that's what I started doing. I would just say, one day I'll take my Canon gear out. One day I won't take the Canon gear. I'll take the Sony gear. So I just still have a lot more confidence with it because of the lens. It's all about the lens. If Sony got a lens that I could use, then I probably would just start selling off my Canon gear at this point. But yeah, that's my opinion on that.
Cool. JW Studios. How do you feel about the 135 Canon lens? Oh, sorry, I thought that was Sigma 1835. Sorry. How do you feel about the 135 Canon lens? I also smashed that like button. Thank you so much. Danny, do you have experience with the new 18-135 STM Canon lens? I'm assuming that's what he's talking about.
No, I don't. I had the old one, the 18-135, but I think if you're using a 70D or 80D, it's a really good lens because you get a lot of reach and you get available usage of the STM function, which is the silent autofocusing capabilities of it. So if you're doing video and you're just starting, I think the 18-135 is a solid lens to get.
Awesome. David Osler, I love 1.4 lenses. I do too.
Me too. 1.2.
Alex Sandova, would you guys buy gray market items? Cough, cough, Danny, cough, cough.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if the price is good, I would do it. I think Jason had this in the show notes, but he took it out. But Jason, there is a deal going on right now.
Yes. The A7R2 is going for $2,200 on eBay right now.
Yeah, in the US, obviously. So I don't know what it's like anywhere else, but
yeah, I'm down to. I bought a few gray market items. For camera bodies, I try to keep it within the US warranty just because if anything happens, it's easier to get that sent in. But so far, I have pretty good experience with gray market stuff. Nothing has really died on me just yet, but I don't own that much gray market stuff.
I own quite a few.
Torger, what is the widest lens for the A7R2? So if we're talking in terms of just within the Sony and Zeiss realm, Danny, what do you think? 18 mil baddest would be the widest? No, yeah, sorry, 16-35.
16-35, but then there is the Laowa series.
Yeah. So that's outside of the Sony and Zeiss realm. So there is the Laowa 12mm that a lot of people are hyping up right now.
You know, there's a lens on Canon system that I really absolutely want to buy, and that's the Canon 8-15 fisheye. But I don't want to invest in that particular arena. But I'm hoping Sony does something similar, so I don't have to grab it for Canon. I don't know. Just since you brought up the wide angle stuff.
Okay, let's see here. The film guys, with clear image zoom, could I get away with an 85mm rather than the expensive 70-200? That way I can still zoom in to imitate the 70-200, or do you think it's still worth getting the 70-200? So here's my thought on it. If you don't ever find yourself too often that you need a 70-200, you can get away with an 85mm. But I still use my 70-200 at weddings just because it's a little bit better for me just to have that zoom. Because sometimes depending on what you're shooting on, the clear image zoom does degrade your quality. 4K, you're okay, but 1080, it degrades the quality a lot if you try to zoom in like 2 times. So it just depends on your work. Arnold, let's see here. I bought a good condition Sigma 35 Art 1.4 for 500 used.
Nice. That's a good price. That's a good price.
JW Studios, is anyone a fan of Peter McKinnon? I am. I was just watching his video yesterday. We were just talking about him too.
Yeah.
DJ, mahalo for the response. You're welcome. I don't know how to say. I don't know how to say you're welcome in Hawaiian. Anyways, JW Studios, what spec should my computer have for 4K editing? Danny, that might be for you.
You definitely need a quad core CPU if you can get a 6-core or even octa-core, but 4K quad core will do it. Do some research on the Ryzen CPUs lately. I don't know if you want to build your own computer, but the Ryzen CPUs are definitely good price per performance. And then as far as the GPU, if you're going to go CUDA, you're going to definitely want to take a look at the 1000 series cards now that are out. 1060, 1070, 1080. As far as cards you want to grab. I mean, you can still grab the 900 series cards, still work pretty good too for 4K editing. And then the other bottleneck is going to be your SSD, your hard drives. That's the one that slows it down. You can have a really good spec system, but if you don't have a very fast data transfer rate for your files, it's going to hurt you. And then memory-wise, you want to look at probably around 16 gigs of RAM minimum, 32 if you can. So that's my quick mention on that.
All right, guys, we just got a couple minutes left, so we'll blaze through some of the questions as fast as possible. But thank you guys again so much. We're at 65 people watching. Holy cow. And 64 likes. Punches that like if you haven't already yet. Tim West, best budget gimbal for 6,000 or 6,500. Go with the G-Yun Crane. Get that one. That is awesome. I think now it's like $500. You should probably pull a trigger on that. Let's see here. Why don't you guys do video editing tutorial? That would be cool. I actually have something coming out, so be patient. It's
there
coming.
You go.
It's
there
coming.
You go.
Let's see here. Just bought the 6500, about to get the A7R2. Should I pull the trigger or just wait until the new camera to be announced? Wait.
Yeah, just wait. Even if it's going to be, even though I have it here and it's going to be $4,500, just wait until this week.
The actual announcement. Well,
yeah.
Wait until Danny reviews it first.
There you go.
Marcus Cooper, DJI, Ronin, or Crane? I'm a fan of the Crane. I like being unobtrusive and very stealthy, so the Crane is definitely fits just that. Awesome. Whoops. All right. Cool. All right, I think that's pretty much it. Obaid says, thanks, Jason and Danny. You two are cool. Too cool for school. Can't say that for Danny.
Thanks,
Cool, but yeah. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for another wonderful, successful Monday Night Live. If you missed a majority of the live, don't worry. This will be up and available again to watch. I just need to trim it down. But actually, wait a day. Let me punch in all those time codes so that you can just click on the thing and tune into a specific part that you want to watch. Before we go, Danny, is there any upcoming projects that you want to tease our viewers?
Like I said in the beginning of the show, if you didn't catch it, I finally joined Sony Pro Support. I hit him up and saying if I can send me out a 2470 G Master or an 85 G Master. I'd like to do a test with all three 85s and do a comparison there. And maybe even use a 2470 out when I go to San Diego on Thursday, over the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and test it out for some event photography because stuff's going on, and go ahead and shoot some event stuff. So that's what's on the horizon for me.
So for me, I have the 100 STF video coming. It might be a little bit different from what the recent presentations were, but they're coming out. It's coming out this weekend. And also next week, I will be at NAB 2017. I'm hoping Danny will return the camera so I can check it out in Vegas, but that remains to be seen. But yeah, the live next week will be on Danny's channel. So hopefully my internet is strong enough at Vegas to join in. But if not, Danny will entertain you guys.
Hopefully. And then Manny Ortiz might join us on that next
Manny
one,
Ortiz
maybe.
might join in as well. So lots of cool stuff happening in the coming couple of weeks. So yeah, thank you guys so much. What's this going on? My forehead is shiny as well. Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you guys in our videos and the next live. Good night. Peace out.
See you later.